Alrighty, guys. Today we're going to be listening to the short story Bruno's New Home. And if you look at the top of your screen, you're going to see the genre. That's the type of text or the type of story we're reading is a fantasy. Now, fantasies oftentimes have magic or talking animals or things that shouldn't be able to happen in the real world. That also means that they are fiction. Fiction meaning that they are made up, and nonfiction would mean the opposite, that they are true. So we'll read our story, and remember, we're going to be thinking about our essential question that we learned in class this week. And that question is, what can stories teach you? And so I want you to really be thinking about, why do we read stories and what are the lessons that we learn? All right, listen in. Bruno shivered. A frosty wind blew through the forest. Bright red and orange leaves danced around the trees. His paws felt like blocks of ice. It was almost winter. Bruno needed a warm, safe place to hibernate, and he needed it now. Bruno moved slowly through the woods. He grumbled and growled to himself. Finding a new place to sleep was harder than he thought. Bruno climbed up a small hill. He hiked around a pond and walked on a path. No place was right. Finally, he made an exciting discovery. Bruno spotted a cave in the side of a rocky hill. It was perfect except for one thing. He couldn't fit through the opening. It was blocked with a pile of dirt and tangled roots. Bruno sat down to think. I'll just dig out some of this dirt and make the entrance bigger, he thought. Then I can finally get to sleep. Bruno dug and dug with his huge paws, but the dirt was packed down hard. It took a lot of hard work and effort. He pulled and pulled at the tree roots. The roots were strong and too tough to rip out. Bruno stopped to rest. His paws ached. They were red and sore. Suddenly he heard a loud sound. Crack! Bruno turned quickly and saw a small squirrel eating a nut. He stopped eating and smiled at Bruno. You look like you need help, said the squirrel. Bruno sighed. I've been trying to fit into this cave, but it's hopeless. I've been digging and digging, but I haven't improved the opening at all. I'm Jack, and I can help, said the squirrel. But you are too small, said Bruno. Jack told Bruno to sit down and rest. Bruno sat and yawned as Jack scampered away. A few minutes later, he came back. What you need is a book, said Jack. Reading can help you become educated. Books are filled with knowledge. He handed Bruno a thick red book. Bruno moved to a bright, sunny spot. He put on his glasses and tried to concentrate on the story. He paid careful attention to the plot. The story was about a lion and a mouse. The lion thought the mouse was too small to help him. One day the lion got caught in a net. The mouse chewed the net's ropes and helped the lion escape. Well, the lion in this story learned an important lesson, said Bruno. I think I did too. The story inspired Bruno. The mouse had sharp teeth, and so did Jack. Jack could help. The new friends made a fine team. Jack chewed through the thick roots and Bruno dug out the dirt. They worked together all afternoon. Finally, Bruno could fit through the opening. Are you satisfied and happy with your cozy new home? Asked Jack. I sure am, said Bruno. And I learned something too. Good friends come in small packages. All right, students, now that's the end of the story. You'll notice our stories that we read are going to have our vocabulary words that we studied and learned yesterday in them. So if you're confused on any of those words, I'd go back to yesterday's vocabulary lesson, and I would recheck out those words. Most difficult one I think I saw on here was that Bruno was digging and digging, but he hadn't improved the opening. If we go back and look at our vocabulary, we know that improved means to make better. And so he was trying to make the opening to his cave better. All right, excellent. Now you're going to have 2 questions after this that I'd like you to think about. And the questions, they're from right down here. They say, talk about the story of the lion and the mouse. How did it help Bruno solve his problem? So go back if you need to listen to the story again. Wait till we get to page 26 here and then really listen in when you hear about the lion and the mouse. And think, what did that lion and mouse story do to inspire Bruno? And then your other question is, discuss how you and your friends help one another. So I want you guys to just think about this and type about it and brainstorm. What are some ways that you use your friends to do things and to help one another out? So think on those 2 questions. And with that, we will come back tomorrow and do our next piece of our lesson. Alrighty, guys. Have a great day.